What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to PlayStation Generation episode 80. My name is Matt, and I'll be your host for today's events. I'm joined, as always, by the Buckley's boy himself, Mr. Danny Raccoon. What's up, Danny?
What's up, Matt? I feel like it's been way too long.
Dude, it has been a minute. You're looking fly as fuck. We're repping the Hack Gang tonight, and you look good, my friend.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it because I feel like shit, but
Nah, I'm sorry.
it's okay.
It's okay. It's what happens when you get sick. You can't do nothing about it. But I hope you feel better soon. But let's talk about some stuff, because today we're going to talk about some Intergalactic. We're going to talk about some Concord. Shockingly, we're going to talk about some Call of Duty, some Ghost of Yotei, and a whole lot more. So strap in and prepare thyself for the show of a lifetime. But before we do all that, let's check in. It's been a sec since we've heard from Denny's backlog, and I gotta ask, my boy, what you been playing the last couple of weeks?
Don't yell at me.
I'm not going to.
Fantastic. I've been playing Sonic Crossworlds Racing.
Why would I yell at you? That shit rules. Why haven't we been playing together?
Because I got it for the Switch.
Is there no crossplay?
Yeah, there probably is crossplay. You're right.
Yeah, fucking dumb.
Yeah, I'm a fucking dumb. Listen, I'm not here today. Like, I'm here today, but I'm gonna say some stupid shit.
So be tomorrow.
Yeah, just clip everything. Today's gonna be a day full of clips. Yeah, no, I've been playing Sonic Crossworlds Racing. Okay, now that I know you have it, we'll play together. It'll be great. Yeah. It's been a lot of fun. Probably the most fun I've had with an actual like Sonic racing game.
By far, I would agree.
Since Sonic R.
Yeah, like it. I mean, I used to play a ton of Air Riders back in the day.
Yeah,
like that was the last Sonic game that I like, Sonic Racer, that I really kind of committed to. But like easily, like this one rules. It's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, and all the characters that have been coming out are nuts. Like every day I open up my Instagram and it's all of a sudden it's like, oh hey, now you've got the Ninja Turtles coming out soon. Hey, friggin' SpongeBob just released. Hey, we're launching new characters. You'll find out in January who they are. So it's nice to see they're committed to throwing content at this game, and the roster keeps growing and growing, and it's been fun. And honestly, it's taken, if I had to pick between this and Mario Kart World, like I know they've said this.
No, it's this.
In a bunch of articles, like I play this on my Switch over Mario Kart World.
Dude, Sonic is just more fun. Like Mario Kart World, don't get me wrong, is great. It has some fantastic levels. It's wonderful. It's a new Mario Kart. There's no shame in that.
Oh, but I feel like crap out of it with my Switch too.
I feel like the hype kind of coming into it with like the open world and everything, it just didn't live up to those heights, and I feel it kind of like not left a bad taste in my mouth, but kind of sullied the experience a little bit. Well, Sonic Racing Crossworlds kind of came out of nowhere, and it's just banger after banger. The level switch ups. I mean, it has Persona and Like a Dragon Yakuza in it, so like I can't complain. Those are my two favorites, and I get to play as both of them. Just fucking bangers, dude.
Oh, it's great.
I'm glad you've been enjoying it, my friend. Yeah, it rules. I'm excited to play with you. We'll have to run some races together. As for myself, I have been playing. Hold on, wait. I have to mentally think about this. Been playing a bit of Kirby Air Riders. My full review will be up on But Why Though later this week. It's great. It's not Mario Kart World, but with Kirby. It's Smash Bros with a kart racer.
See, that's what I thought.
It's that DNA more so than other, but I'll save my full thoughts for the review, so go check that out soon. I've been playing Deadpool VR. That review will be on Console Creatures this week. It rules. It's exactly what you would expect from it. The combat's a lot of fun. Neil Patrick Harris is great in the role. It is a audio onslaught though, so if Deadpool is not your thing, nothing here is going to sell you on that, because the memes and pop culture callouts and like the audio kind of assault on the ears that is constantly happening because it's Deadpool is constant. It is a lot of fun. I like Deadpool, so for me it works. But and then the other stuff I can't talk about yet, so I will save that for the future.
Local Matt things.
But I'm kind of just wondering, Denny, I'm just sitting here thinking into the ether about what Rice Boy played this past week.
That's a great question.
The PlayStation Hokage. I do wonder
what's keeping
him busy.
Yeah, I have been playing games.
Ooh.
But kind of in between some other like life and busy stuff. I actually have come back from Toronto Game Expo.
Yeah. Bro, also haircut looking fly. You and Naomi both looked on fleek.
Thank you. Yeah, she got her hair did too. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. For those of you who don't know, Naomi, my sister, she's blonde now, and
Mm.
my hair actually looks, you know, done
Not
up, and
blonde.
it was yeah, not blonde, but you know,
Not blonde.
it was cut, and it looks good. I feel good about it. You know what I'm saying? But Toronto Game Expo was a really fun experience. For those of you who don't know, it's kind of like a con, but it is also like a lot less kind of overstimulating. There's lots more space, kind of a smaller event, but was able to meet up with some, you know, the Toronto gaming community. Some I haven't met before. So making new friends and kind of making those connections in, you know, IRL is huge for me. It's funny because Matt and I still have not yet shared a hug.
No,
That will happen
it will.
eventually,
It will.
you know. Where it will happen, we don't know yet, but we'll keep you posted on that, okay?
And when it
Um,
does happen, it will be a little longer. Everybody
a little
around us
longer.
will be more uncomfortable than Rice and I are,
True.
but like this embrace will last minutes, if not hours.
Yes, and I am
I'm
the
already
first,
uncomfortable just hearing about it.
Don't
but I'm
worry.
the
Same
first
thing's
with
gonna
Neil.
happen when we meet.
Oh, yay.
Yes.
Okay. So should
I'm
we
also
make
an
it all on the
emotional
same day?
Yes.
I'm also an emotional guy, as Denny knows.
Same.
And you know, when I express my love for somebody, I may get a little tearful. So that
Mm.
hug is gonna be a good one. And people will be awkward, but then they will know it's like, ooh, maybe they haven't seen each other in a long time.
That's like real love. That's crew love.
That's
You know what I
that's
mean?
true. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. So that's what I've been doing. But the game that I have been playing mostly is Pokemon ZA.
Yeah.
And so I've been working through that and just been in the Pokemon mood lately, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So while I was at the expo, obviously picked up some of these nice cool stickers.
Ooh, dang,
So
those are
Very
fly.
cool.
The
Pokeball.
Cyndaquil one is straight to my heart, bro.
This was the number one that I picked up,
Fire,
but you know,
literally.
it was a buy two get one free
You know
deal.
what I like about that one? It looks like Cyndaquil's like busting out of the ball.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like he accidentally broke it a little bit, and his little fiery
yeah,
butt
yeah.
is sticking out.
Like, I don't want to stay in here.
No, like let me the hell out.
Right. Yeah, that's what I've been doing, y'all. It's good to
Hell
be here.
yeah, it's good to be back. The trio is back together once again.
Trio.
Stoked to ride together as we
Mhm.
talk about a whole bunch of stuff on this week's show. A bit of housekeeping. Our final episode for the year is going to be on December 14th. We're
Yep.
going to be doing our game of the year episode then, so prepare thyselves for that, and then we'll be out for the last couple of weeks, so we can all get a little rest, a little revamp, a little time with the fam and the loved ones, and maybe we'll hug. Who knows?
Maybe we'll hug.
Maybe we'll hug. Black Wyvern in the chat. Hello. You guys are awesome. The feeling is mutual, my friend. It is great to see you. Let's talk about some news, folks. We got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about this week.
Let's do it.
And Danny, since you've been out for a little bit, I want to throw it to you first. Do you want to talk about Concord or do you want to talk about Tails?
Ooh.
Oh, let's go with Concord.
Let's go with Concord. Let's talk about some Concord, folks. And it like not a conversation I was expecting to ever happen again. Chris Scullion over at BGC talks about how a fan group gets Concord working again, but warns of potential quote unquote worrying legal action by Sony. A fan group has managed to get Sony's abandoned game Concord up and running again, but warn that Sony's lawyers may be circling. Just 2 weeks after it was released, we obviously know it got pulled and offered refunds to everybody. Now, Community Project has spent months reverse engineering the game and has managed to get it up and running again on custom servers. They posted about it on Discord and went all over Reddit as well. They got it workable. It's still playable, still work in progress, but it is buggy. But they're kind of a little bit worried. It doesn't yet appear that Sony has threatened legal action, but there have been some DMCA takedowns on some of the videos that went live. But yeah, I don't know, guys. Like why bother going after them unless they're really trying to like bury this thing like 12 feet deep and that like it never sees the light of day again.
Sure.
I mean, if people want to play by themselves or on some like local service, I mean, like why not? I don't know, Denny, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same page. I don't know why Sony would be after them unless it's like you made your money or you lost your money on this, you've cut your ties from it. You know, if someone else is putting in the work to try and make it playable, again, even if it's for a small group,
and obviously if they're not selling it, like let's asterisk
if
that
they're not making a profit from it, like let them have their cake, man.
Yeah, dude. Like, I don't know. I'm all about game preservation and like obviously letting this thing live in some form for some people who obviously care enough to do the work to make it playable. Like, they haven't done anything as of yet, and I kind of hope they don't, but I don't know, Rice, where are you at?
I think that the kind of trajectory, the previous trajectory that it had gone through, I mean, naturally people are just disinterested, and I'm in that boat. And so like
Rice is like, I could not give a fuck.
no,
dude.
bro, like that's I wish I wish I cared. You know, like I
In
wish I
either
cared.
way.
You know what I mean? I wish that I could give them a different answer, but it's yeah, I'm on to other things at this point.
All right, man. Well, let's talk about some other things. Rice, do we want to talk about Tales, or do we want to talk about Call of Duty Black Ops 7? Thanks, shout out for all of
Shout
the
out Call
things.
of Duty,
Shout out
you
Call
know
of
what
Duty
I'm
Black
saying?
Ops 7. Big ups.
Always taking care of us, you know what I'm saying? Thank you for the
Hookups,
you
yeah,
know,
thank you.
thanks for adding
Yeah.
in the no pause in the campaign. That's something I always ask for.
Yep. Shout
Really
out
listening
for
to
all
the fans.
shout out for all the AI assets.
You
You know,
know, I
huge
mean,
moves here.
it is, you know, the future. So that's what we found out.
Andy Robinson over at VGC writes about how Call of Duty Black Ops 7 stumbles in European launch with sales 63% below Battlefield 6. It's according to data from GSD, which tracks physical and data and digital sales across Europe, published by the game business. This year's Call of Duty launched amid increased competition from Battlefield 6 and Arc Raiders. Also, a bunch of middling reviews. Apparently, the sales were 63% what Battlefield managed to do in its own debut weeks. And over 25% of players, Call of Duty players in September, picked up Battlefield 6 in October. Also, you know, one asterisk here is that Blops is included in Game Pass at its highest tier. But yeah, dude. And as noted by Kotaku, Activision's own communications after Blops release has been unusually muted. You know, they're usually pretty quick to be like, we've sold this many copies and there's been this many players and this many millions of hours played. And they've been kind of quiet.
Yeah.
Talk to me, Rice.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I was joking about this so hard last week. I've watched some gameplay. I'm actually gonna jump in and try it out myself just so that I can solidify kind of my opinions around it. Um, listen, I don't think that what was delivered is what fans, like true fans, really expected from the franchise. It's quite interesting the direction they chose to take, whether whether they wanted to try something new, and I don't know, maybe it was a shot in the dark or whatnot, collaborating with celebrities. I know that's always kind of been a thing with cameos and whatnot. So yeah, I was interested when I saw Milo as the main protagonist, because I've seen him in a lot of stuff that I've watched. And shout out Heroes season 1. I don't know if that's like a deep cut or if
Bit of a
people
deep
even
cut.
cared about that show, but Heroes season 1 was like legit. Peter Petrelli was legit, so I was like, okay, cool. Let's get up there. Let's try a Blops game with Peter Petrelli at the forefront. But it just was kind of like a WTF to anyone that was expecting any kind of Call of Duty gameplay. So it was a little bit out there. So this makes sense. This makes sense. There's always Call of Duty hate, and it's always by the community themselves. But this hate was different, yo. It really was. It was just like, I don't want this. I don't want it. Who asked for it?
This hate was real and across a couple different ways. Now, to be fair, I have heard the multiplayer is fun, and I have heard that the multiplayer is leagues ahead of the campaign. But I don't know, with all the AI shit and all the other crap going on with this game, I just could not. I could not. They could not pay me to care. But sponsored by. I don't know, Denny. Is Blob 7 anything here for you?
No, I've hated this game since its announcement.
My boy.
I remember, I think it was me, Rice, and someone else watching the announcement trailer for it, and we were like really hyped because the game seemed super cool. And then we saw Call of Duty Black Ops 7 splashed across the screen, and we were all like, "What the fuck?"
Oh, it was
That was
like,
one of the most confusing reveals ever. Everybody was like, "Wait,
really
what the hell is this? This looks fire. Is this Remedy? Is this more control? Like, what is this weird? Oh,
fuck, it's Call of Duty.
yeah.
And so far, like, I mean, I haven't paid much attention when anything pops up on my feed about Black Ops 7, but I've heard about the AI assets and all that. But my favorite thing so far, and it just gives me a little bit of glee right now, is If you type in Black Ops 7, you look at the news like headlines. PC Gamer's review starts with, or the headline is Black Ops 7 is Call of Duty at its most obnoxious and least enjoyable.
Oh wow,
So
that's a headline.
That is-
it is a brutal, like it's an honest take.
Yeah,
Sure,
it's a takedown.
It's brutal.
They clearly did not get that bag. Not like us. Call of Duty Black Ops 7, Game of the Year, PlayStation Generation. Slap that on the title.
Giddy.
Yeah, dude, I feel you. I could not bring myself to care about this game whatsoever this year. As a Battlefield fan and as someone who's been really enjoying Battlefield 6, I just never thought we'd see the day where a Battlefield game in its initial week outperforms a Call of Duty. Totally. But here's the world that we live in.
But I feel like we kind of mentioned that, like during like all of the coverage that we've talked about for Battlefield 6. You know, we've always said like this is the year that Battlefield could really, you know, carve itself out. And I think it's done that because it's taken everything that's strong about the Battlefield series and has really made sure it shines. Whereas I don't know what the hell Black Ops has done or Call of Duty has done, and it's just kind of, you know, it's just in the background.
Let's talk about the Steam Machine again, because we talked about this last week, and I made some comments that I'm clearly gonna eat some words on here. Now, I was hopeful. I had hope, folks, but coming from VGC, written by Andy Robinson, Valve confirms Steam Machine will be priced like a PC with the same level of performance. Valve won't subsidize Steam Machine's price like console manufacturers and developers claimed. Valve has said that the prices of its console-style PC, the Steam Machine, will be in line with comparable specs PCs and not subsidy to reach lower price points, as often is the case with the PlayStation and Xbox consoles. We talked about this last week. You know, we were kind of stoked on it about this potential competition with PlayStation, what this could do to the console market as a whole, and whether this kind of whether the Steam Machine could be kind of taking the Xbox's slot as kind of like the third of the new big three. And I even thought that it was possible that, you know, this could come in at like, you know, 500 USD if they really want to get competitive with the console space. That doesn't seem to be the case. You know, I don't know tech as well as like Denny does, but like Denny, realistically, how are we feeling about the Steam Machine? I'm glad you're here this week because I wanted to ask you last week. And like, what do you think comparably is like a justifiable price point? Like, what do you think this is going to come in at?
I think if this is going to be priced like a PC, I don't know if they said there's going to be different levels or if it's just going to be one specific SKU. That I don't know.
Just one, I think, is what they've said so far.
One SKU. I would not be surprised if we see PS5 Pro pricing.
Like, you still think it'll be that low?
Yeah. Depending on what they put, like, again, we don't have specs, we don't have anything, right? So depending on what they put in there, if they still at least go with an APU, that's probably where they're going to save the biggest money.
Okay. I think there are some specs out, and this thing is supposed to be less powerful than a base PS5.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
So based on that, so that's like a 9. The PlayStation 5 Pro is $959.99 at Best Buy. Canadian, yes. So that's an interesting point there. So do you think it's going to perform at those levels?
Well, again, I if it's going to be priced like a PC, my assumption would be it's built like a PC.
Sure.
It's going to run probably Steam OS.
How much is confirmed?
How much is confirmed? Perfect. So for me, as long as Steam OS is optimized to run on whatever they pick up as their hardware choice, it should be fine. But yeah, if it's going to run like a PC, then you are going to have performance issues if you don't have anything high end on those machines.
Sure.
Yeah, this thing's supposed to be like a pretty introductory level thing. They say that it's gonna, I don't know. They said it's gonna outperform like 70% of PCs on the market. I mean, clearly they have a lot of the data of what people are using and playing on.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I am curious as to what this pricing is actually going to look like then, because if they are not out here to compete with the console market, which would be in my mind why you would build something like this and put something out there. If you're trying to do this, like, hey, it's gonna play on your TV, it's kind of your new living room spot. I don't know anybody that has like a PC hooked up to their TV, to their primary TV. You know what I mean? Like people have, your Plex servers, people have different ways of connecting wirelessly to do stuff like that. But I don't know anybody who has anything equivalent to a desktop that sits in that space where a PlayStation 5, where a PS5 or a PS5 Pro does.
Yeah.
So like I do wonder how well this thing is going to sell or how much they need to kind of push through to make this a success.
Sure.
And I do think this starts to become less of a console space player, like we had kind of talked about last week. Because if this thing is $1,500, then double, $500 more than Canadian, let's say $500 more than a PS5 Pro.
Yeah.
Who's that choice starts to get a lot more difficult. I don't know, Rice, where are you at?
Yeah, and truly, like the threads and posts that I was reading amongst the community who were excited, that was part of the allure, is that Steam has a, in the words, console for us now. And so that was the idea. And so now it does pose the question, like, so okay, who is this marketed towards? Is it towards those people who do want to have that TV couch experience, right? Or is this just like another form of a PC that people can get? At which point begs the question, why not just build a PC yourself? Or why not go with something else where perhaps performance would even trump this? So it does make it a little bit confusing.
That, and I do think that, like, sorry Denny, but like real quick, I do wonder, like, because for people that would possibly consider this as a PC alternative, Linux is a high bar to cross. It is a difficult thing to wade into. Someone who's been playing around on the Steam Deck, it has taken me a lot to try and do what you would do much more simply on a Windows. Linux for like the mass market consumer, I think is at this point a bridge too far for someone who'd possibly be looking at this as a device that would wholesale replace a desktop. You know what I mean?
Good point. Unless, like, it's very niche, right?
And like the question that there is here too is that like PS6 pricing, right? Like if in my mind, there was a world where these two things would have been comparably priced, and maybe that starts to become a more interesting conversation. But if that's not going to be the case, and like the PS6 both handheld, and if you can buy a PS6 handheld and a PS6 proper for what would be a comparable price to the Steam machine, who's going to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an interesting choice.
I don't know, Denny, sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh, no, that's fine. I was kind of just thinking that this is a great middle ground, actually.
Okay, talk to me.
So if you take a look at a console, 99% of the time that is a lockdown machine, right? You pay for the game, you get you can pay for the DLC that comes with it, and then after that, you're done. Like that's how you enjoy that software. With a Steam machine, if it's anything like how Steam, like how Steam works, right? You have people who contribute and do modifications, and you have the workshop tab for each of those games. So then you are able to kind of almost without fully investing in, I got to get the high end refresh rate monitor and the high DPI mouse and the the $300 keyboard with the cherry red MX keys, right? All of those additional add-ons. This is a great way to just be able to pay for some hardware, plug it into your TV, and still be able to experience what the PC community experiences through the way of mods.
Fair. Yeah, that's a fair point. I am curious how this will all kind of shake out and how this will all look as we get closer to it. We'll definitely keep it in our sights, and we'll talk more about it as we get closer. But let's talk about some Tales, because we got a new Tales announcement this week. Tales of Berseria Remastered announced, launching on PC, PS5, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch on February 27, 2026. This was written by Dennis, the homie. The next entry of the Tales franchise getting the remastered treatment is a more recent one with Bandai Namco's announcing Tales of Berseria Remastered is coming in February 27, 2026, less than 6 months from the game's 10th anniversary in Japan. Listen, I love Berseria. I think this is a great game. I really enjoyed it when it came out. I'm confused as to why they chose this one to remaster. There are older games that deserve it more. Abyss, some of the ones that never even made it stateside. Why pick a PS3, PS4 game that still runs and looks good today as your remaster? Like, why not just drop a port and work on a remaster of something that deserves it more? I don't know. Like I said, I love Berseria. I really enjoyed it when it came out, but why this one? Anybody have any thoughts? Am I alone on the Tales front
Well,
here?
I wonder. I ask. So it's too modern for it to be remastered. So for example, does it kind of mirror like a Horizon Zero Dawn remaster? Is that the issue that you're having with it?
No, this is a much simpler remaster. Like it's
Right,
just one of
fair
those
enough.
ones where it's like it does look better. Don't get me wrong, but like the game is not that old, and there's other
Right.
games in this series that deserve it more. I think that this feels to me like a low effort remaster that they can punch out and kind of put out across modern consoles.
Mhm.
But yeah, there are other games that I think kind of deserve it more. That's
Like,
my thing.
so give me an example. Is it a higher bar for them to remaster an older game, or is it
For
not?
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
For sure. Any game as you kind of start going deeper into the series history would require a bigger effort,
Sure.
you know?
Like full like from the ground up rather than
Exactly. Yeah, if you wanted to remake like Tales of the Abyss, that would be a much steeper challenge than it would be Berseria.
Okay. So is that something that you would have enjoyed more than this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That sucks. That's interesting. I don't know anything about the series. This is why I asked these questions. And so I know that there are a bunch of Tales games. So they had so many to choose from, but they chose this one. That's an
Yeah.
interesting choice.
It feels low effort
Sure.
comparatively. And maybe that's why they're doing it, is because this one won't take as many resources or take as much time. And one would assume, like they kind of talked about, that they're going to be working on a lot of remasters. Maybe this is just maybe they have like 4 different projects on the go, and this is the one that is closest to being ready. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So this was the one that's dropping first.
Where is Symphonia in this?
Way before.
Way
Oh,
before.
yeah.
Way
Would
It's a
that have
GameCube
been
game.
a valid remaster?
Have they
Sure.
already remastered
But
it?
yeah, they've already done like
Oh, they already have.
they've
Got it,
already
got it,
done
got it.
like, again, it's a pretty bare bones remaster. Like unless you were going to remake Symphonia from the ground up, there already has like there's already like a duology
Right.
remaster pack that includes Symphonia, and we don't talk about Symphonia 2, but that already exists.
Got it. Okay.
Oh,
Talk to me.
just doing a little bit of digging. Obviously, this is part of the whole Tales remake project,
Mhm.
and apparently, in Tokyo Game Show 2025, the reason why it's coming out, honestly, and I think you hit the nail on the head, it's the quickest that they can get out. They're doing a bunch of projects that are in parallel. So
Mhm.
older games where, data preservation wasn't really at the forefront of developers' minds are taking longer. So we're probably going to see a lot of the more recent games come out on the front end of this project, and then we're going to see a lot of the older games come out at the back end of this project, because those are going to have a lot more stuff done from scratch versus just upscaling existing assets.
Yeah, and like I don't know if we have a price confirmed, but like if this is like a $50, $40 or $50 remaster, okay, that's fine. I can start to see the end of the road a little bit clearer here. If this comes out at full price, that will be genuinely fucking wild. And I don't know if they've confirmed pricing as of yet, but I guess we'll find out. February is not far.
Nope.
Let's roll on to our next story, because Naughty Dog's Intergalactic is reportedly not going to be at the Game Awards this year, despite some rumors going around in the last few days. This is coming from Andy Robinson over at BGC. Skipping the Game Awards, and apparently is not going to release next year, according to multiple journalists reacting to speculation around the PS5 exclusive this weekend. Colin Moriarty was on some podcast, and he said from what he's heard, it is content complete, and they're testing it, and they're in QA, and it's coming next year. And then, apparently Jeff Grubb and others, including Jason Schreier, have come out and said, nope, that's not the case. It will not be at the Game Awards next month, and it is not planning to release in 2026. Which means that this thing is going to definitely be in 2027 at the earliest, which would potentially mean that Naughty Dog, as it says here, if true, it will mean that Naughty Dog will have gone virtually an entire console generation without releasing an original game. Because, of course, the last one that they released wholesale was The Last of Us Part 2. And we haven't seen a new game from them since then. But I don't know. Is this surprising, Rice?
Listen, no. But I'm still mad about it. I'm
Okay.
still mad about it because I I have been really looking forward to just seeing more about this title. It was very enticing. It was very interesting upon first glance, and it's just like we're kind of just dead in the water for this IP. And I get that, you know, I do understand the amount of work that goes into video games. I am not trying to downplay that at all. I guess as a consumer and also a fan, really, of what Naughty Dog has done with other IPs, I want to see more about it. You know, so it infuriates me, even though I understand.
I'm with you. I don't know. Naughty Dog and the Game Awards kind of seem to go very much hand in hand. Like these two kind of things, like, you know, Naughty Dog has shown off multiple games there, has announced multiple games there. I believe that's where we saw Intergalactic for the first time.
Yeah.
Was at the Game Awards. So I am a little bit surprised that we like it not coming out in 2026 does not surprise me whatsoever. There was I heard those rumors and I was like, doubt. You know, I don't think, and even if they did announce the 2026 date, I wouldn't believe them until that game was in my hands, because Naughty Dog is not one, like, you know, Last of Us Part 2 was delayed a number of times. Uncharted 4, I believe, was as well. Again, I have no problem with them taking their time to get this product out, but I am surprised is that, like, we're not going to get like at least a bit of a gameplay slice at the Game Awards, like showing off like a bit of the combat, a bit of the open world, just something to kind of continue this thing. I had thought that, like, you know, since the Spider-Man 2 debacle, that PlayStation had kind of pulled back from this kind of announcing games too early, because you know, then they're constantly being asked, where is it, and I'm kind of surprised that Intergalactic, if it still is a ways out, which is totally fine, take your time, I want to play it, but, you know, take your time, that I'm surprised that they started talking about it. And I kind of wish that they didn't, because now I want it. And fuck you, Denny, the Buckley's thing.
Oh my god,
holy
shit, just to extend this bit.
No, dude.
But like, now you kind of need it, unless you're faking sick and using this as a
big brain energy, bro.
Oh my god.
What?
It's actually like a Werther's original that he has in there.
No, these are like legit. Oh my god, these are amazing.
Never mind.
But yeah, I don't know, Denny, where you at?
I'm disappointed. This has been the one thing that I still remember being very excited about from the Game Awards. And I think I put it on some of our hot, like, bingo card thingies, about all the shows that have come and gone with no announcement. And it's just, you know, now it's just gonna be somewhere else in the back of my mind, and it's just gonna be that game that I thought about that one time, and it'll come out, and I may never ever play it or put it in my backlog.
I don't believe you.
No, probably.
I don't believe you. That's the Buckley's talking, bro.
No, but
well, to be fair, you haven't played The Last of Us either.
Yeah, I don't fucking intend on. No matter how many times fucking Amazon pushes me to buy the complete edition.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not surprised that this isn't coming anytime soon. And like, I genuinely would not be shocked if this ends up being like a cross-generational launch across the PS6 and the PS5.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, absolutely, man. What an opportunity, right? What a banger. But like, that's so far away, and like, we already were teased. Like, yo, you teasing me too early. Now I can't use those references. Yeah, I'm blue balling.
Yeah,
okay?
blue balling.
God damn.
You're blue balling, or you're blue balled?
Currently balling. I am saying that right now. Like, pretty soon, it's just gonna be null.
You're in the process.
Performance issues.
Which hopefully Intergalactic will not launch with in 2028. Let's roll on to our next story, because we got New Game Plus coming to Ghost of Yote. This is coming from the PlayStation blog proper. But we are getting a new patch coming on November 24th. So tomorrow, if you're watching this show live, there's going to be a free patch dropping, including New Game Plus. It's bringing a new harder difficulty, obviously two new trophies. It's going to carry over a bunch of your progress, and there's also a new currency called Ghost Flowers, which you can get for up to 30 new cosmetics, including weapon sets, and armor dyes. And there's going to be further upgrades that you can do to a bunch of your stuff. There's also some new stuff. So some new photo mode stuff, some new accessibility options. It's going to be a big old patch. You know, I'm always kind of surprised that New Game Plus doesn't launch more commonly with like the game itself.
Yeah.
You know,
why is that?
And like, I don't know. I wonder, is it like oh, maybe the game's been out for like a month and a half now. Maybe people are just finishing it. They can roll into a new gameplay. So like, for me, wouldn't it be like if strike while the iron's hot? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
most people probably finish this in a week or two. A month later to now go back to it, and this isn't a Ghost of Yote specific problem. I feel like this is a common issue kind of across the games industry right now. I don't know. I kind of feel like New Game Plus should be like sooner,
right off the bat, right?
You know,
like I don't imagine them brainstorming ideas to add into New Game Plus, or even just to treat the initial launch as like a litmus test as to what people want. So it doesn't make sense to me, but maybe it's also the fact that it wasn't ready, or they wanted to add more features. But it doesn't seem like there's anything too ground shaking being added here.
Yeah, I mean, like it's cool. Listen, don't get me wrong. It's dope that it's there, and for players that are going to, kind of, pick it up later and experience it. But like, yeah, I just kind of feel like
timing. Yeah.
And some games take even longer. It's not like Ghost of Yote is, is that much longer. It's about a month and a half.
Of course.
But it's just still, I don't know. And I know, Denny, it used to come out right away.
Yeah. Well, I'm just okay. So I had a weird thought.
Yeah, tell me.
And I don't know how to phrase this. So if it comes out garbled, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the last couple games that I've played and beat. Some have had New Game Plus, some haven't, some have been added on. And I don't know, maybe it's a weird trend in my head, but I'm kind of noticing or feeling like maybe there's more Western developers that throw it as an add-on later, or more Eastern developers have it out the gate on the disc or with an update, like out the gate. Because I'm thinking, like, for example, when I played Final Fantasy 16, it had a Final Fantasy mode, which is their New Game Plus mode, right out the gate. And I'm thinking, well, Spider-Man 2, we had to wait for a New Game Plus mode, which is a Sony game. We're waiting. We got one from Ghost of Yote, which came out after. Horizon, from what I've heard, had it, but then they expanded more on top.
Stellar Blade. Sorry, I was trying to think. I was like, this. I feel like I remember Stellar Blade launched later.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm trying to wonder what it is as well, because like I'm just gonna chalk it up to developers being lazy, and not all developers, and just saying like, hey, it's something we can tack on later. Let's get the game out. Hit our launch date. But I feel like I think about like all the old Capcom games that always had a New Game Plus mode right out the gate.
Sorry, I'm full of shit. Stellar Blade did have it on launch.
Oh, okay, cool.
Sorry, fact checking myself here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's like I don't know if it's like a laziness thing. To me, it reads more as like an intentional choice. New Game Plus doesn't usually really ever add anything too significant, broadly speaking here, that would require like months of dev time afterwards. Is it a way to keep the game in kind of the ether a little bit longer, so that people who may have put it down a few weeks ago and be like, oh yeah, I can hop back in now? Or is it like is it a thing where like, yeah, maybe they kind of kicked it down further on the list of priorities to get the game out on its just expected release date, and kind of went back in and cleaned up a few New Game Plus things after? I don't know, but like I don't know. I'm not somebody. I mean, I don't know why the fuck I'm talking anywhere. I'm not somebody who replays games New Game Plus or not.
It's okay, dude. I'm someone who barely plays games these days, so. Yet here we are.
Here we are.
Well, I have like a Reddit summary here of opinions, and it seems that a lot of it could have to do with keeping the hype up. I mean, Ghost of Yote selling so many copies and now releasing a New Game Plus could gain new players, sell more units, and recapture people who have already completed the game. So they're referring to it as like the second wave of press.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool that it's there. It's clearly adding some stuff that's going to be exciting for players. The harder difficulty, I'm sure, will get some people stoked.
Yeah,
not me, but I'm glad it's there.
Meh.
Let's talk.
Player.
Yeah, I'm a Souls person. Yeah, you give me a Souls game, and I love them so much. I love them almost as much as I love Black Ops 7.
Yup, sports too.
Sports, I especially love Sports 2.
Yes,
So much better
the
than
game?
Sports 1. Sports
Yes,
2,
yes.
much better than Sports
Oh,
1.
Wait till you
and
see what they do with
Sports
Sports 3.
Oh, dude, don't even talk about Sports 3 right now. Don't even talk about Sports 3. It's not going to come out until 2029 at the earliest.
Yup.
Let's go to the BBC next to talk about the Golden Joysticks Awards because Clara Obscura Expedition 33 wins big. This is written
Hell
by
yeah.
Srosh Khan over at the BBC. Clara Obscura Expedition 33 has swept the Golden Joysticks Awards, picking up 7 gongs, including the main prize. It won the Ultimate Game of the Year of the event, along with a few others. They also won Jennifer English and Ben Starr both won Best Lead Performer and Best Supportive Performer, respectively. Also cleaning out Best Soundtrack, Best Storytelling, Best Visual Design, while Sandfall Interactive took Studio of the Year. And of course, there's a bunch of other winners as well, but like not surprising, folks.
Yep.
Let's kind of ring the next story in right away and kind of roll these in together because the Game Awards have also dropped their nominees. And to be expected, fucking Clara Obscura is all over that thing. This is coming from Console Creatures. This was written up by Bobby himself, the Don. Bobby, we got the Game Awards 2025 nominees, leading this year Sandfall Interactive's Clara Obscura Expedition 33 with 12 awards, the highest nominations in history.
Yeah. Holy.
Of any game ever. Including Game of the Year, Best Game Direction, and Best Narrative. Death Stranding 2 on the Beach and Ghost of Yote followed with 8 nominations. PlayStation Studios What's Up, and Hades 2 right behind them with a couple less. Game of the Year, we're not going to run through all of these categories, but let's talk about a few. Game of the Year, Clara Obscura, Death Stranding 2, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hades 2, Silk Song, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Listen, Expedition 33, I'll spoil it right now, is my Game of the Year. By a mile. I cannot believe how much I fell in love with that game. Court's counter pick still brings me so much joy to this day. Absolutely get fucked. But like, yeah, dude, like I do think that this, the joysticks are probably a good indicator of the way that the Game Awards are going to go. But I don't know, Denny, do you think there's any other game in this category that you think could take it out from under its feet? Because
absolutely not.
No. Okay.
Strong no.
You don't think Silk Song or like Hades 2 has a shot?
No.
Rice, talk to me.
I think Silk Song may have a shot.
Rice, you're wrong.
Not because I think there's anything logical about it.
You're wrong.
There's absolutely no answer that I could discern or understand that would make sense, other than the fact that people love this game, dog. But that said, no, it's not going to happen.
Real deal, Jay O'Neill in the chat. Jeff will rig it for Death Stranding. That's entirely possible. That's entirely possible.
You know, man, Claire.
I think like Hades. I think Hades won one Game of the year it came out, did it not?
I think so.
So I can see that. And Silk Song was such like a moment, but I think Expedition 33. I mean, both Hades 2 and Silk Song were known quantities. You know what I mean? Everything on this list, Donkey Kong, Death Stranding, Hades, they're all sequels or if not established IP. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Death Stranding 2, Hades 2, Silk Song is the second one. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Donkey Kong, while new, is Donkey Kong. You kind of know what you're getting into.
It's a historic franchise.
Yeah. Expedition 33 is this new thing that took a established franchise and flipped it on its head in really interesting ways, did incredible story stuff. I recommend going and checking out Bobby's. Bobby did like a feature a few months ago talking about how like there's a moment in that game, and I'm trying not to spoil it for anybody, but compares it to a significant moment in Final Fantasy VII, and how it's like this generation's moment from that game, and I totally see those parallels. So like, as someone who loves Expedition 33 with my entire heart, I am pulling for it to win all of the awards because I think it deserves it. And like not to poo-poo on any of these other games, or not to say that these aren't other incredible experiences. That's Stranding, dude. Like I played all the rest of these games except for Soul Song, all phenomenal experiences. But man, Expedition 33 was just a moment this year, in an industry where I don't feel like we get a lot of these moments anymore. As much as I love Ghost of Yote, we knew what we were getting into with that.
Agreed. It wasn't new. And it was built on something that was great. But the fact that Clara Obscura just, oh man,
crazy.
There's so much about it. It's not even just one thing. It's so many things.
Let's talk about Best Indie. Best Independent Game. We have got Absalom, Bollocks Pit, Blueprints, Clara Obscura, Hades 2, and Hollow Knight Silk Song.
Blueprints.
I think Blueprints could get its nod here.
Sure.
You know, I feel like the amount of people that I saw talking and really falling in love with that game, again, like that was very close to Expedition 33. Another game that I think really caught people off guard. I've heard fantastic things about Absalom and Ball Pit and the rest of these as well, but this could be where Blueprints gets a nod.
Sure.
You know, I feel like it could take a year. Again, it wouldn't surprise me if it was Expedition 33. It would kind of track if it wins Game of the Year, then it would probably also win Best Indie. But and then Best Debut Indie. Blueprints, Clair Obscure, Despelote, Dispatch, and Megabonk. Even though Megabonk withdrew, they turned around and said, "This is not our debut game. I've made other games, so I don't want to be in this game award." And they U-turned right out of that. Respect to them, even though it was the first game as a studio. Yeah, dude, I don't know. I feel like Expedition 33 is going to clean up this year. Black Wyvern in the chat.
Yeah.
Do you think Split Fiction missed out because recency bias? No, but because Split Fiction again is a known quantity. While it's a new IP, It Takes Two was a moment because It Takes Two did what nothing else is doing in the space. Split Fiction is more It Takes Two in incredible ways. Split Fiction is utterly fantastic.
It was great,
but it still doesn't have that X factor that I think Expedition 33 had this year.
Yeah.
I don't know. Am I off base?
Not at all. You know, when you taste a new food that you haven't tasted before, but like you love it.
Yeah.
Like there are these explosions in your brain. Like that's Expedition 33. That's Clair Obscure for me. And nothing else really does that. So
nothing else did that this year, in my opinion. Like Blueprint, again, I think there are some other fantastic experiences that are worth talking about. Like I said, Blueprints, there's some incredible stuff here that for some people, it wasn't for me, but for some people was truly that. But I don't know, man. I think like Astrobot taking it last year as a smaller game, a platformer in a sea of other competitive, more competitive titles, a budget game. I think that was such like a massive, like resounding, hey, look at the game that won Game of the Year. This live service bullshit is not worth chasing. If it's Expedition 33 with a smaller team, a smaller budget, a more niche genre, in my opinion, when you compare it to something like sports games or shooters or Kojima games, you know what I mean? Like it's
I like the verbiage you use. Like it is a moment. Astrobot was a moment, you know, it was pivotal, and I think that like Expedition 33 can really, needs to be at the forefront because it strutted its stuff.
This game deserves its flowers.
Yep.
I cannot think of a single weak point from when it comes to the narrative, the characters, the graphics, the art style, the soundtrack, like the combat, everything was just hitting on all cylinders. You know what I mean? Kubini Gaming in the chat says Yoshida said PS6 is 2028. Does that mean the next Xbox has over a year head start? I don't think it matters.
Yeah, that premium price point will speak for itself.
Yeah. Like I think as expensive as it's going to be, and to be fair, I don't think this is an Xbox specific problem. I think this is PlayStation as well. Neither one of these has made a use case for a new generation as of yet. We're not pushing the limits on the Series X. We're not pushing the limits on the PS5 or the PS5 Pro. Even if the Xbox has a year head start, if the games are coming to PlayStation anyway, does it matter?
Sure.
And I think Rice is onto something where like the world is in a tough place, you know. People's choices with their money are becoming more and more focused, and there's many more choices going on nowadays.
Yeah,
I don't think if everybody knows, and I think by 2027, if that's when the next Xbox launches, where people now expect that, hey, the next Fable, the next Halo are coming to PlayStation. Why am I going to drop $1,500 on a new Xbox when I can grab a PS6, which will probably be, again, it will be more expensive, but it won't be that expensive, you know?
Yeah.
In my opinion.
You also have more time to save.
You have more time to save. And again, you can still play these games on your PS5 probably.
Yes.
You know?
You know, it's between conscious consumerism and also just tech advancement, not necessarily plateauing, but it is the curve is not as steep anymore. So that wow factor is a little bit nerfed in that way. While I know that net sales for that next generation are going to be incredible, day one purchases are probably not going to be as crazy as they used to be.
Only 7 games on PS5. Most are older titles and some ABK. Xbox has tons of exclusive and will continue to be that way. I don't think that's a strategy anymore, man. And they've kind of flat out said as much. Like Forza is coming, Halo's coming, Gears is coming. We know all of these things are going to make their way. While there's plenty of back catalog to go through, yes, as soon as there's something new out, old game is old for a lot of people. Sure. Regardless of that sentiment, most people want the new thing. They want the new shiny thing that's being advertised. Yeah, that's the new experience, the new thing that's in their face. Is it going to be enough for them to keep buying Xboxes at a premium price point? I don't know, man.
And you raise some interesting points here, because it would give us kind of a better understanding of the fan base, given that we're wrong, like we also.
It's entirely possible.
Yeah, it's entirely possible. In terms of the landscape, though, in terms of what people are posting and how the trends of conversations are going, it does not seem like the consumer, even the consumer that has been pro Xbox this whole time, feels like they would go and purchase this next console day one. Mm-hmm. So I'd be interested to see how it plays out. It's a good question, and yeah, we appreciate it.
Let's run into a couple more questions. We got a couple to close out the show here. Savoy Prime, who, if you haven't seen last week's episode, that was a fire episode with SP.
It was so fun.
Savoy Prime writes in saying, "Sup PG3, says Intergalactic isn't releasing next year. What are the chances on a Last of Us Part 2 remastered director's cut releasing instead?" My real question, though, do you think that the Game Awards will purposely stop E3 or Expedition 33 from doing a sweep, winning every category it's in, so the internet won't complain?
Nah,
I think the internet would complain if it didn't sweep.
Yeah, I feel like it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation here.
I think the discourse is inevitable. I think it's going to be an interesting conversation if that does happen.
I think that I would hope that I think Keighley would lose a lot of credibility if they try and mess with it at all. Because a lot of how the Game Awards works is like panel judging. There's a ton of people who kind of contribute to what wins and what doesn't. If some of these things are fan voting and stuff, those things, maybe Expedition 33 isn't going to sweep for other stuff, but I think that there's a good possibility that this thing is going to be heavily decorated by the end of this year. Yeah. Edward Varnell at Elite Block Agent writes in saying, "Do you think Guerrilla Games' next IP will launch the PS6 that could do Breath of the Wild industry change that would put Sony in a leading console for the next generation? Will there be a game from the Sony IP library to do that, and us as gamers need it with the prices we have to pay in the future? Do you think that Guerrilla Games is going to be the next Breath of the Wild moment on the PS6, or do you think any ex-PlayStation studio is going to do that?" Great question, Edward.
That is a great question.
I don't mean for this to sound in this way. I don't think so. I don't think that Guerrilla Games will be the one, especially we know that they're making the Horizon co-op game. I don't think what they're doing next is going to give PlayStation 6 that Breath of the Wild moment. I don't even think Horizon gave it that moment, considering it got eaten by Breath of the Wild in its same launch month.
True.
Mm-hmm. Where I do think that could possibly happen, I don't even think it's going to be Intergalactic, because again, I think Intergalactic is going to be incredible. But I feel like, it could be Intergalactic. I think Cory Barlog's next game from Santa Monica could be that moment. I think that like a lot of other games around are just not going to be ready, given the way that PlayStation's life cycle has been this generation. But from the person that took God of War and reinvented it, given kind of a clean sweep to do whatever they want for their next game, I think that Cory Barlog's next game could be that moment.
Could be crazy.
What do you guys think?
I mean, I agree wholeheartedly. I mean, like I don't know. I don't think anybody was really. You remember that moment of when they revealed God of War at E3, and like Kratos comes out of the shadows, bro. That was a moment. That was crazy. And so like that's when people were like, "Oh man, man's just cooking in the kitchen." And so I think that that is the strong possibility that he's cooking now. So I'm very, very intrigued by that, and the trajectory points in those directions, man. Like Corey be cooking. So yeah, give it to me though.
Yeah. Denny, any thoughts on anything else on the PlayStation IP bandwagon that you think could be that moment?
Not off the top of my head, no. No, I think you guys have said everything that needs to be said about this.
Yeah, I don't know. Like again, like Insomniac and Sucker Punch, there's so many of these studios, but everything that we've seen them make has been very good versions of things that we've seen before. You know,
Destiny 3. No, sorry.
Dude, it's going to be marathon, bro.
Marathon.
But like nothing's going to give the PlayStation 6 it's kind of Breath of the Wild more than Black Ops 8. Get ready.
17.
Shout out Black Ops 8. That brings us to the end of this week's show, folks. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We appreciate all of you as always. Danny, if people wanted to see and hear more from you, where could they do so?
Most likely Instagram or Twitch. If there's any other thoughts like about blue controllers or blue Gatorade, those are sprinkled throughout my various socials. So you can find those on my linktree /Dinnergun
Go check out Denny and all his spots, and of course, go to his OnlyFans for his blue balls. Rice, my boy, where can people find you?
Linktree /Rice BOYYY TV. There have been a couple posts. I posted a couple reels /TikToks, short form content on my experiences at Toronto Game Expo, featuring some creators and some vendors there that I really, really appreciated. Go check them out. Go follow those creators. Support the small creator community. I think that community is one of the best communities to be a part of, because we are just so eager to uplift each other, and that's really something special, especially if you can do that and extend it into IRL connections and interactions. So that's all I'll say about that. I just encourage you to continue meeting other creators and collaborating with them.
Go check that out. Real Deal Joe O'Neill, what's with the sandwich, Rice?
What's with the sandwich? The sandwich.
Do you understand?
What's with the sandwich?
Are you eating a sandwich?
Did you post about a sandwich?
Did I post about a sandwich?
Did you post about a sandwich?
Did I accidentally post something?
As for myself, you can find me here at Gossip Creatures, and you can also find more of my words over at butwhither.net. I'll have reviews across both sites in the next week or so. The one you took a picture. Did you take a picture of a sandwich, bro?
Oh! Okay, let me explain this. All right. So when we got on the train, there was just like a half of a sandwich, perfectly sliced in half diagonally, by the way, which is the correct way to slice a sandwich, and a little bite out of it. And so I felt that in that moment, I needed to take a picture because it was just, I needed to frame it for art. You know what I'm saying? So
black and white and put it on the wall.
Thank you for asking the question. That really brought me back to that moment. Okay.
Black Wyvern, Rice isn't wearing a cap because his hair looks fly as fuck tonight. My hair looks ratty as shit, which is why
I know it's new.
Rice looks good.
Wearing a cap.
Rice looks good. That brings us to the end of this week's show, folks. Thank you all so much. We'll catch you next week. We'll be back talking about a lot more. And we'll see if Rice is going to be wearing a hat. Who knows? We'll find out. Love you all. Take care of one another. We'll see you then. Peace.